Hello, hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. Perfect timing. I'm going to do this video while I get ready to go out. I was sitting here in the car and I just did another video, and it was talking about I was thinking about rather how people want to negatively affect your health. And I like to use the words negative and affect. I think that gives you a better picture of what I am speaking on. Nobody wants to be negatively affected. Nobody. But people do it every day. And they do it in the most toxic ways. You know, what happened to saying please and thank you and have a nice day? I'll tell you what happened. People don't want you to have a nice day because they're not having a nice day. So they don't want to pass it on. That's one. Please. People don't want to say please anymore because they feel as if it's your job or it's your duty or you should because I am and you are less than me. That whole I am, it could be anything. Because I am a lighter skin tone than you, or because I'm skinnier than you, or because I'm older than you, or because I'm younger than you, or because I'm prettier than you, or because you work at this job making this much an hour and I work in this position working this much, getting paid this much in salary. It could be anything. But the thing is, they don't want to say please because it makes them feel like they are less than and or asking for something. No, they want you to do it for them and they shouldn't have to say please. Okay? Thank you. People don't want to say thank you anymore. Why should they thank you? Why should they thank you for anything? Yes, you serve them something or whatever. That's your job. Why should I thank you? It's your job. You're supposed to because you're this or you're that. Doesn't matter. People just don't want to say thank you anymore. Those things, just those three things that I just mentioned can negatively affect someone's day. Let's go to something else. How about when you're leaving and you see somebody walking up to an establishment that you're going into? What happened to opening the door for other people? Doesn't matter if you're male, female, gay, straight, lesbian, transgender, whatever. What just happened to just common decency and courtesy? Same thing goes with the please, the thank you, and a have a nice day. They feel like it's just not necessary. And then you'll have people that will actually, and it's just the negative effects, you'll have people that will treat people differently, certain people differently, because of their sexuality or because they're transgender or because they're black or because they're whatever race. They'll treat them differently than they'll treat somebody else because they see one person as being better than and the other person as being less than. So they're not going to show the same courtesy and or show, and that's not even really a courtesy. It's an intention to make somebody else feel less than. That's discourteous. And you're using somebody else to then portray and or to get that discourteousness across to the other person, to negatively affect how they feel about themselves, how they look at themselves, so on and so forth. It's toxic. It's all toxic. It's toxic. It's all toxic. Let me explain to you how things like this can end up coming back and biting people in the ass. Just explain it to you. Just give you a few examples. Children, yes, the children are our future. But the sins of the mother and the father fall on the children. But also the sins of your relatives, those that you're around, can also affect you as well too, in how you see them treating other people and are talking about other people. Those can then attach to you. You carry that through your life, and next thing you know, you're dealing with some hardships, some trials, and some lessons that you really don't want to deal with. And you're questioning, why am I dealing with this? Then the other part of that too is you may not be able to handle the lessons that you're having to learn. So then how do you respond to that? You take it out on other people? Do you cry? Are you eating? Are you doing drugs? Are you drinking? What is your vice? What is it that you're having to do, you feel like you have to do, in order to cope with having to learn the lessons that your parents, your siblings, your relatives, your friends didn't want to learn and passed on to you? I'll wait. Because how you deal with something is not necessarily how somebody else is going to deal with something. So what you subject somebody to, as in poor treatment, negative effects from your attitude or your behaviors, they're not going to necessarily respond the way that you think they're going to respond. It's going to end up turning right back around on you. And you're not going to be able to know how to deal with certain attacks that are thrown your way, negative intentions, negative effects. You might just fucking crumble from having to go through something that I had to go through and got through it. That's the thing. I got through it. A lot of people don't get through it. A lot of people suffer through it. A lot of people have to live through whatever it is that was done to them, said to them, because somebody else was trying to negatively affect that individual. Projecting, provoking, discouraging, hating, prejudice, bigotry. There are things that other people have to deal with and go through that some will never experience. But the things that somebody has never experienced, those things that they do, that could be what makes them crumble and fall into a pit of depression, despair, addiction. Shall I continue? Why would you want to negatively affect another individual? Why? I just got the lyrics. Why? Tell them that it's human nature. The main reason why people do that shit is because they themselves are dealing with some kind of insecurity within them that they are not able to resolve or refuse to resolve because it's too much work. It's easier and makes them feel better to subject somebody else to negative effects of their attitude, of their opinion, their viewpoint, whatever, than for them to look at themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? This is what's going on with me. And because this is what's going on with me, I'm taking it out on other people. This happens a lot in the gay community. This happens a lot in the alphabet community. A lot. It happens, of course, in the heterosexual community. But imagine someone that's not heterosexual and or is a part of the alphabet community. Right? They have to deal with it twice as much, usually. You tack on race, age, size. You see what I'm talking about? So you'll have people that will look at another person that is dealing with toxicity, negative intentions, and negative effects from other people, and they'll see that somebody as being stronger than them, and then subject them to more discourteous and negative effects because they feel as if they're not as strong as that person that has been through more than they've been through. You get all that? Process it. Give me a moment. I'll let you process it while I finish this up. You see how toxic that is? It's toxic, right? That's behavior that has got to cease. And the only way that it can cease is by speaking on it, putting it out into the world for people to catch on to and or listen to. So that they can understand how toxic that is. And stop doing it. It's not about getting sympathy or getting people to pat you on the back and say, oh, poor you. No, bitch. Stop doing it. Because all you're doing is just continuing and increasing all that toxicity out into the world. It's not good for anybody. Stop. Do the necessary. But as I said earlier, it's easier for people to blame as well as negatively affect other people than to take responsibility for their insecurities, their issues, their problems. It makes them feel better to hurt somebody else. And we're not taking your issues. We're not taking your issues. We're not dealing with your problems. We're not. We're not. That's your back to carry. So if you feel like you need to do that toxic thing and try to send it to other people, you will probably get hit in some way, shape, or form. Rejection. Words could be said. I don't suggest it. It's just not necessary. It's not worth your energy. Coming back on you down the road in some way, shape, or form that you least expect. You know, there are people that have no problem subjecting other people to toxic behavior, but when it happens to them, oh, me, poor me, shut the fuck up. They're so quick to cry victim without taking responsibility for the fact that they themselves have victimized others. That's not how it works. That's why you have a lot of people that are not sympathetic or even empathetic to people when they hear about, oh, this happened to me or I went through this. Get in fucking line. A lot of us have been through things. A lot of things we haven't shared. And it's not because we're ashamed or embarrassed. No. We had to deal with it. We had to heal from it. And we moved forward. That's the problem that people have with us. Is that we dealt with it, healed from it, moved forward, and we didn't sit and wallow in it. And other people expected us to sit and wallow in it. And we did it, and that's what pisses people off, because we're not willing to stay in that place of defeat and despair and chaos and sadness and no. That doesn't do any good for the progressive movement of humanity and society as a whole. That's just encouraging toxic behavior and victimization. There are things that I've been through you have not experienced, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. But some of y'all have wished those things on other people. So when it comes back to you, what you put out into the world to happen to somebody else, when it comes back to you, then you want to play victim? What? How about not wishing negativity on other people? Because if you don't send out that negative energy, that wish, however you choose to do it, then it won't come back to you. Compounded. You may still have stuff happen to you. I'm not going to say that you're going to get through life without having anything happen to you, traumatic, but it's when you wish something traumatic to happen to somebody else, thinking that you're safe and you're free and clear from it ever happening to you, that it ends up happening to you. It could happen to you. That's the other problem, is that people believe in or think it could never happen to me. I could never be subjected to that. I can never be treated like that. You want to fucking bet? You want to put a wager on that? Let someone out there that is more toxic than you hear you say something like that, and then start sending and projecting and conjuring up all different types of things to occur and or happen in your life. Especially if they have easy access to you, like your parents or your relatives, your siblings, or your partner, your wife, your husband, your children, your neighbors. That's why you have a lot of people minding their business, coming home, keeping their circle small, like a period, and not interacting with other individuals, because they know there are some damaged people out here in this world, there are some crazy people out here in this world, and there are some toxic people out here in this world. Just looking and waiting to see who they can destroy, devour, and hurt. Gotta go.